guys, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Friday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our friends up in Sydney in particular, because it's great to have this particular athlete on the show, because we had on the show only a couple of weeks ago to talk about the Paramatildas, but this time we're talking about her other love as well, which is in athletics, and of course her name is Tamsin. She joins us right now. Thanks, Tamsin, for joining us.
Thank you. I'm honoured to be on the show again.
No worries. Well, let's talk about your athletic side of things. At the moment, we're in the athletics season. How have you gone on the athletics side so far?
Yeah, good, thanks. So the athletic season for this year is only just starting. The states and nationals are in a month or so. Yeah, but I have done a few good times, like a few weeks ago, around the fastest time I did for 3 years, which was pretty exciting. Yeah, and I'm still coming off the high from last season, like as well as winning the Asian Championships. I also before that won the silver medal at the nationals in 400 meters, and also a gold medal in the cross country, because I also do a bit of longer distance, especially to keep up my endurance for football. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this season to see what it could do.
Fantastic results, including some gold medals, as you mentioned before. Do you prefer the long distance or the short distance?
Yeah, well, historically I guess before the longer distance, like I'm naturally better at it, but it wasn't an event for my classification, which is 2:36 for miles turbo palsy at the Paralympics, because they pick and choose certain events to have, so it doesn't go on forever. So they only had the 100 and 200 sprint for me. That's why I focus on that. But yeah, since the sprint qualifying times are, I guess, maybe getting a bit too hard for me, and I'm focusing on football too, so I thought it was good to do endurance as well. So I'm picking back up cross country.
The actual cross country season is a little bit later on. I know that, in the winter. How are you preparing for that, considering we're in the middle of summer at the moment?
Yeah, the power events for cross country are a bit shorter than the normal events, so it's like 3 kilometers is the main one. So I just, like some other people in my training squad, do cross country, so I'm just going to my training, which is like at the track with my coach 3 times a week. And yeah, I have started going to football now, because that's like also starting up. Yeah, so just keeping my training and fitness up, and going to the park one, which is the 5K one every Saturday in Australia. So yeah, that's really good to do. So yeah.
You mentioned that, having the football, the world game football, as well as doing cross country at the same time. I guess, do you have a preference out of the two?
Yeah, I would say football. Yeah, because I don't know, it's good. Especially like as I mentioned in the last interview, I tried it growing up, but then like it wasn't catered for people with CP, so now getting into like CP football when it was created like a few years ago now. So that's been really good. And yeah, I'm also, the majority of the people I know through running do athletics track events too. So I'm kind of doing both all now, and yeah.
State and nationals coming up for athletics.
Yeah, so the state athletics for New South Wales is in early March, and the national champs is in early April, I think. So yeah, I'm looking to go to that. I've done the national qualifiers, which is good for me. Yeah.
You got a month before then. Any other competitions that you're going to compete in the month of February?
Well, nothing major. The state's the biggest one I have coming up, but then I'm like my there's like football pre-season training I'm just doing, and I might do a club meet on later in February, but yeah, mainly focus on the state for now.
Tell me about your athletics journey. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Yeah, so it started when I was 6 years old, actually. In 2008, I went to a athletics come and try day. My parents, specifically my mum, she had a physio background, so was keen to get me involved in some sort of sport which suited me to help like rehabilitation and stuff. Yeah, a lot of people I've met through athletics say competing in athletics has improved their physical function, so they don't require further surgeries and such. So that's also a big benefit of that for people with disability. And then, yeah, I just really like the feeling of running fast. And because when I discovered parasport events, I wouldn't come last all the time, which was a bonus. And I progressed through the school system in school, and then went to state and nationals and won some medals and records for my classification, which was really good. And then in 2016, as you might know, I went to the Rio Paralympics. At 14, I was actually the youngest member of the team, so I did stuff like meet the Governor General and had the interview with the oldest Paralympian, which was really cool. Yeah, and since then I've won some of the medals, like at the World Junior Parathletics Championships, a few games, Oceania Games and such, and also I got selected in 2020 to relight the cauldron, the Olympic and Paralympic cauldron on the anniversary of the Sydney 2000 Games, which was really special moment for me. Yeah.
You've answered my next question about highlights, so I'm going to ask you this question. What does athletics mean to you? Now, obviously, we know you love football, but what does athletics mean to you?
Yeah, athletics means a lot to do with like my first sport I was involved in. So, and especially I like being in the village and having a athletics training squad with other people with disabilities. Like it was the first time I really felt I belonged, because like usually in day-to-day life, other people, like people with disabilities, are the minority, but there it's the norm. Yeah, so that just means a lot, and like meeting other people with CP and like all disabilities and seeing them chase their goals, it's like inspires you to embrace your disability and like strive towards them as well. Yeah, and running just feels very freeing for me, like forgetting all your worries and just focusing on your goal, which is such a great feeling.
And any future ambitions in the sport of athletics?
Future ambitions, well, right now I think I'm focusing on CP football, but then I'm also doing athletics mainly to keep up my fitness, as I said. But yeah, the Paralympics has got a bit, like the qualifiers are a bit tough for me, but I'm looking forward to supporting the team for that. And yeah, so for athletics, I'm just taking it day by day, I guess, and looking forward to the state and nationals this year, seeing if I can medal and stuff maybe, and then yeah, hopefully in the future I might get selected for an Australian team again for the athletics or football.
Any athletes that you look up to?
Yeah, there's a few. I would say when she was still running, I really looked up to Sally Pearson. I read her book, and I even went to a training day with her, and so yeah, that was really cool. I really like Sally Pearson, and the sport of parathletics, my idol there is like Maddie Dozaro. She's yeah, wheelchair racer, mainly longer distances, but yeah, she's just a really nice person. I've been lucky to meet her and follow her journey. Yeah, and then seeing her like push herself has inspired me too as well.
Tell us a bit about your coach and obviously which athletics club you're involved in.
Yeah, so my coach is Matt Rawlings. He's like has a athletics group over in Balcombe Hills. It's actually kind of hard to find athletics groups that specializes in disability. So where I train usually is an hour away from where I live. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I've been training there for about 10 or so years and just seeing the squad expand and stuff. And then he was an athlete himself, my coach, so that makes it better. And then he's also like now into coaching, but like inspires us with like the resilience and athlete spirit. And yeah, so he's a really great coach. And my club, I used to run for his club, his district, but I actually got a scholarship to my university, which is UNSW for sport. So I run for their club now, UNSW Athletics Club. Yeah, and they've been really supportive of me as well, which is lucky because some clubs don't be so nice to people with disability, but they're very inclusive and yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to training with them more. PT.
What would be your advice to people out there, especially with what you have, your disability, that should get involved in athletics?
Yeah, I would just say like have a go at it. Like it doesn't even have to be athletics, anything that takes your fancy, because yeah, you wouldn't want to do something you don't like. But yeah, for me, I got involved in athletics for Come and Try Day, and now Paralympics Australia hosts them some across the country, which I've been to and are great. And yes, most clubs now, they're like aware of disability, so know about it. So then they're quite inclusive. So yeah, it's just like anyone who wants to get involved in athletics, maybe you should like find a club and start going. And if they're not inclusive, find another one, like I have done a few times. Yeah, and that's like me for CP football too. I found a club person park, which I trained with, because 4 teams actually didn't want to take in someone with a disability, which was kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm glad I found an inclusive one now. So there are good people out there. So yeah, just have a go and try your luck, I guess.
Let's finish with a couple light-hearted questions. So, any embarrassing moments on the track?
Okay, so the big one I have is at the Rio Paralympics, I actually fell over in my race, because it's quite common with cerebral palsy athletes, your legs don't really communicate that well to your brain. Yeah, so I fell over in part of like a pretty packed stadium, and then you could hear the crowd like gasping, but yeah, so that was a bit annoying. But then, and the camera actually went off me, so everyone at home was like, what happened to her? Because I had a really good start and was on track to cross the line like 4th, yeah. But luckily I picked myself up and finished the race after that. So that really shows the resilience in like the Paralympic movement and stuff like that. So yeah, and I've had a few other embarrassing moments like falling over in other domestic meets, but that's something what happens. So yeah, just don't be afraid of your embarrassment because it happens to anyone.
Pre-competition, superstition or ritual?
Pre-competition, well, I don't really have, superstitions. I'm not like a superstitious person, but I do have various routines before
Yes,
competing. I like always having spaghetti bolognese the night before,
that's
because
right.
yeah, it's a really good meal. Like protein, carbs, stored balance. So the night before I always like to have that, and then we snack about an hour before. And then I like to have just plenty of time to do everything, and always do like the same warm-up before competition, and usually with my headphones on to like get in the zone before competing and stuff like that.
Great segue. I'm gonna ask you now, based on that last response. What's that pump-up song before competition that you have in your headset?
I have quite a few, but I would say my favorite pump up song is like either Hall of Fame by The Script or Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. Yeah, those are to very motivating songs, and I like really upbeat music to listen to before I race.
What's your personal best time in your favorite event?
Yeah, my favorite event for athletics will have to be the 200, I think, which is 31:77. I'm also doing pretty well at 100 this season, so that has been like 15:54, I think I got down to. So yeah, I'm both of them trying to like get faster for that, which will obviously help for soccer sprinting and around the field. So
This last one for everyone that should follow you on the socials, and especially your progress through not just athletics, but obviously the world game of football. How can I go about it?
So I'm on a lot of social media platforms. I like to share my journey and advice for other people with disabilities. So I'm on the most active one, like probably Instagram. It's at Colley. I'm also on like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's like at Colley or Tamsin Colley PLY. Yeah, and TikTok, Tamsin Colley as well. Yeah, I'm a very social person. Makes up for the times I'm not as social elsewhere.
Love it. So you're into your TikTok dance. So I've got to ask this because you mentioned you're on TikTok.
Yeah, I have been experimenting with new things in the uni holidays, but I don't really like dancing. That's actually a funny story. That's how I broke my ankle in 2016 doing a dancing class. So I don't do that anymore. But yeah. I just usually post my Instagram reels to TikTok, like either edits of races and stuff or like trending like songs or inspirational messages. Yeah, I really like those type of things.
Tamsin, it is so awesome to have you back on the show. Now we've covered both your love sports. Obviously, we know your favorite one is the world game of football, but it's awesome to have a chat with you about your other one, which is para-athletes in particular. And best of luck with the state and nationals coming up, and hopefully it all goes well. And as well as obviously representing the Para Matildas in heading towards the Paralympic Games coming up in Paris mid this year.
Yeah, thanks. The Paralympics, yeah, as I mentioned, I probably won't go to that. CP football's not yet in it, and athletics is a bit hard, but yeah, looking forward to supporting everyone, and maybe even the goal for mine is CP football. Like there's a World Cup in November, which I'm aiming for. So yeah, quite a bit happening, but I'm excited for this year. Thanks.
That's all right. No worries. And that's Tamsin Colley there. Join us. And of course, we'll put how you can follow her on the social media. And of course, especially her progress through two of her love sports, athletes, and the wild game of football. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this day go here on the 10th year celebration.